Quantum Health Transformation Steps 9, 8, and 7 form the first tier of training in this free online lifestyle course. The information that I'm sharing today is the second tier of training, which is all about detoxification to improve health and to help you to achieve a new level of well-being. You may want to come back and listen to each episode again, as they contain a lot of information with some deeper concepts to consider. Now that you know how to stop poisoning yourself and you have all the information you need to detoxify your body, it is time to move on to Quantum Health Transformation Step 6, Part 3. Quantum Health Transformation Step 6, Detoxification Part 3, Emotional Detoxification and the Power of Emotions. Regardless of your emotional situation, things will change for the better physically and mentally once you get off sugar and the other toxic elements that are found in food-like products. You will notice the difference almost immediately. I highly recommend that you buy the PDF version of these lessons so that you will have the transcript, illustrations, and all of the links which are embedded for easy access. You can find all of my PDFs on my website under the Shop tab, and I am charging $3.99 Canadian for each one to help me cover my expenses. So getting on to food and detoxification and emotions, I gotta tell you, I used to be a carboholic while I was overweight. I found that withdrawing from sugar and processed wheat products was more difficult than quitting tobacco or alcohol. While I was consuming refined carbs, I had terrible mood swings, bouts of depression, and debilitating physical health issues. I couldn't concentrate or control my temper, and here's why. Sugars and refined carbohydrates affect the brain and the body the same way as cocaine. They both cause a short-lived, intense high that is immediately followed by intense depression, edginess, and a craving for more. People who use these derivatives often don't eat or sleep properly. They can make people feel paranoid, angry, hostile, and anxious. Sugars, refined carbs, and some other food-like substances absolutely do affect your emotions, your feelings, and your health. So here are some of the effects that cocaine and sugar have in common. Increased heart rate, blood pressure, and body temperature, contracted blood vessels, increased rate of breathing, disturbed sleep patterns, a temporary increased sense of energy and alertness, an elevated mood, hyperstimulation and restlessness, sometimes bizarre, erratic, sometimes violent behavior, hyperexcitability, irritability, euphoria, nausea and upset stomach, depression, anxiety and paranoia, intense cravings, panic attacks, and psychosis. Deep in the brain, both sugars and cocaine interfere with the chemical messengers, which are called neurotransmitters, that nerves use to communicate with each other. They block norepinephrine, serotonin, dopamine, and other neurotransmitters from being reabsorbed. The resulting chemical buildup between nerves causes euphoria or feeling high. Eating high-sugar foods lights up your brain on an MRI like a Christmas tree. Dr. Mark Hyman, MD, founder and medical director of Ultra Wellness Center, said during a recent interview on HuffPost Live. The part of the brain that lights up is the very same part of the brain that is triggered by cocaine or heroin, according to research by David Ludwig, MD, PhD. So a lot of people are addicted and don't even know it. So what are some of the signs where we could take a look at our patterns and our life and see if we might be addicted, or to question that? Do you crave sugar and carbs? Do you have trouble losing weight? Do you have high blood sugar or high blood pressure? Do you eat even when you're not hungry? Are you sluggish from overeating? Do you have embarrassed feelings about eating, binge in secret, or even hide food? Do you feel agitated, can't sleep, or suffer withdrawal symptoms if you don't eat junk food? Let's assume that you've taken Quantum Health Transformation Step 6, Parts 1 and 2 seriously, and you are actively detoxifying your inner and your outer selves. It's time to ask, what is emotional detoxification about? Emotions affect us physically. Positive emotions have a therapeutic effect on the body, which is why we call them good feelings, while negative emotions take energy away from the system and can cause brain stress, which is discharged into the body, causing undesirable feelings and sensations. When excessive brain stress is discharged into the physical body, it causes illness, pain, and suffering. Physical sensation provides our warning or guidance system, and we do well to listen to it. I did not listen to my body for many years and experienced much mental and physical illness, disease, and suffering as a result. I kept going to the doctor expecting a pill to cure my ills. How foolish I was. I had to deal with my addiction to food-like substances before I could make the emotional progress that I desired. So once we do that, then we can actually deal with our emotions on their own because they're not being influenced by something that we're eating or doing. Here's the simple alternative that I use in my life now, which illustrates the power of our emotions. Let me introduce you to Me, Myself, and I integration training, which I created in 2010. It involves 3 separate but integrated components. There's me, which refers to my body, my physical body, myself, which includes my mind or what I perceive to be myself in a mental state, and I, which equals my subconscious soul. For illustration purposes, I have split the self into 3 components of body, mind, and subconscious mind to show you that there is an interplay. When we take me, which is my body, and myself, which is my mind, they produce my emotions and my physical feelings. And examples would include fear and joy. Myself, which is my mind, and I, which is my subconscious soul, equals my imagination and my desires. And examples include lucid dreaming or just drifting off into fantasy. I, which is my subconscious soul, and me, which is my physical body, make up my intuitive feelings. Examples include hunches and even precognition. Me plus myself equals my emotions. So in my experience, I had to say shh to myself. Most people need training to pacify their minds so that their emotions can become calm. Only then can the mind receive healthful messages from the imagination and the intuition, which is our subconscious. There are many ways to calm the mind. Listen to masters like Eckhart Tolle, Mike Dooley, and Michael Beckwith. Listen to calming music. Practice prayer and meditation daily. And for some tips, you might want to go back to Quantum Health Transformation Step 8 and review that course material again. Spend time every day just being aware of what's going on inside your skin while you stop thinking about things. Become grateful for life and all the wonders that surround you. Myself plus I equals my imagination. When our imaginations and or our intuition spontaneously override the mind and affect our thoughts and feelings, we lose our calm and we become aware that we are out of balance. Our ego becomes distressed because it wants to be in control, and often we become what is too commonly considered mentally ill. And common examples of this are generalized anxiety disorder and panic attacks. This is actually a healthy warning system, there to remind us to become more aware and to put more balance into our chosen lifestyles. We need to become aware of our body sensations instead of thinking about people, places, and things so much. Strengthen the mind and imagination with affirmations and visualization techniques, and make a daily practice of meditation. I plus me equals my intuition. As soon as we are calm and feel internal sensations without thinking thoughts, integration spontaneously begins. This is why Qigong, Tai Chi, meditation, and yoga are such excellent avenues for healing. Our souls are linked to our subconscious selves, which hold vast amounts of data, and knowledge is power. Our own built-in intuition will guide us and let us know what to do. When we live consciously and mindfully, the messages flow into our awareness, and we know exactly what to do. Take advantage of this powerful inner resource. We are unique, complex combinations of genetic factors, life experiences, and wisdoms. Learn to trust yourself. So now we're going to talk about the interplay between real food and me, myself, and I. Healthful food and beverages with life force heal the body and the mind. And I'll be talking more about this in Quantum Health Transformation Step 5. Meditation also heals the body and the mind. And again, you may want to reflect back on the information in Quantum Health Transformation Step 8. The soul, under all circumstances, remains intact as we learn to understand and utilize this amazing personal built-in resource. We hold the power to achieve quantum well-being. Further, choose introspection over worry. Introspection allows you to learn from the past by viewing it more objectively. Once we learn the lesson, we can let the memory go, along with its trapped negative energy. Become self-aware. Watch yourself as though you are an inside observer. Refrain from criticism. Keep a sense of humor. And learn to mind your own business. Believe me, it's enough to deal with. Do not be so interested in what other people are doing, saying, and thinking. You can't possibly understand it in objective detail anyway. And for more on that, I refer you back to Quantum Health Transformation Step 9. Believe in yourself and in your ability to succeed. The power to succeed in anything you wish for is inside of you. Focus on your sincere desires. Change them whenever you want. Affirm your requests daily to yourself or through prayer. Now move outside of your comfort zone. Take a step toward your goal and discover the awaiting adventure. Your initial small successes will build confidence and improve your self-esteem. A state of well-being means pleasure for the body. There is such pleasure in using the body that sustains us and moves us about in this great adventure called life. Energy is a gift that you give to yourself. Physical vitality lends to happiness and peace of mind. A state of well-being means happiness for the mind. Once your body experiences the pleasurable sensations that come with feeling better, you can begin to relax. The mind begins to accept pleasure in the forms of happiness, peacefulness, and joyfulness. The mind soon finds healthful ways to interpret experiences, and you begin to discover better coping techniques. And guess what? Life just gets better. A state of well-being means joy for the spirit. Once the body and mind are satisfied, the natural orientation of the soul becomes bliss. Our souls are attached to our unconscious selves, which hold vast amounts of data, and its communication device is our intuition. With a calm mind and comfortable body, all of our internal communication systems can function fully. Our natural, healthful orientation can now be experienced as more well-being. Daily practice of a detoxifying lifestyle will rapidly improve your state of well-being. And ask yourself, what are you going to do with all that feel-good energy? More about the power of emotions. Some new paradigm enthusiasts avoid facing negative emotions for fear that they will be pulled into a lower vibrational state. Some believe this will hinder their spiritual progress and the ability to manifest their desires. Realistically, though, it is not possible to be up and happy all of the time. This would interfere with the natural ebb and flow of all things. Life without contrast has no meaning. But avoid fear-based thinking from any source. Emotions and feelings come in layers and intensities, just like music. It's all energy. Sadness is not that far from joy. Anger and love are both passionate. Agony and ecstasy feel similar, and both can become states for physical and emotional addiction. The opposite of love is not hate, but apathy. Love is light. It can shine dim or bright, but it is still love. Total apathy, like total darkness, just doesn't exist. The vibrational state of music changes in octaves, and the same is true of emotion. No emotion is good or bad. They are states of feeling which are partly emotional and partly physical. Joy is an octave above sadness. When I feel joyful, I produce tears, and the overall body sensation is very much the same as when I feel sad. The difference is in the interpretation of the feeling and the thoughts associated with the emotion, which produces the vibrational state. Sometimes we occupy our awareness with strong emotion to keep us from facing our fears. When we face our fears, they disappear, and the strong emotion we once used to cover them dissipates into calm. When we stop censoring and suppressing our full range of emotion, we can use feelings as teachers and guides. Once we learn the lesson, we often return to a peaceful place, which I will call contentment. Conscious thoughtlessness and contentment go hand in hand. This leaves room for conscious living and much energy for manifesting that which we desire. Now, this is the healing power of emotion, something to think about. This concludes Quantum Health Transformation, Step 6, Part 3. Now you know how to stop toxifying yourself, and you found ways to detoxify your internal and external selves. You have also discovered the power within emotion, and now we will be able to move on to Quantum Health Transformation, Step 5, Green, Food as Medicine, and another source of universal love energy. So I would like to encourage you to feel free to contact me for more information and for assistance with your detoxification program. My services are found under the Shop tab on my website. Again, I highly recommend you buy the PDF version of these lessons so that you will have the transcript, the illustrations, and all of the links which are embedded for easy access. And you will find all of my PDFs on my website under the shop tab. And again, they're only $3.99 Canadian. Now, that's about $2.60 American, so it's not much. It's just a few coins, but it helps me. This online course is free. And if you would like to help support my work, please purchase some of my beautiful Zendomes organites. Due to the pandemic, we're having difficulty sourcing supplies, and so we're unable to make more orgone generators at this time, but there's still quite a few that you can choose from. If you want to help create the change you wish to see in the world, or make contact with ET, or participate in the Intergalactic Resettlement Program, take exquisite care of the temple body. Raise your vibrational frequency and learn from the Quantum Health Transformation Program.